Ah. Girls. All right. Like I said, we're going to record these for a while just because there's a few people not here, so they'll be posted. But we did not finish chapter 1 yesterday. We were still reading chapter 1. It's Chase, and we were learning all about how he has amnesia, how he remembers how to do regular things like, you know, how to get dressed, how to speak, how to walk, but he does not remember friends. He does not remember anything about himself or his family, and we were just at the part where he got home and his dad, be careful because people keep on knocking that down because they pull on the stuff, okay? Because his dad is at home and now his parents are like kind of fighting and whatevs. So we are on page 9, all right, the very top. Falling off a roof doesn't make me a hero, I mumble. I can't put my finger on it. There's something about my dad that makes me nervous. It isn't physical. In fact, for a middle-aged guy, he's pretty energetic and spry. Despite the paunch and the thinning hair, his smile is totally overpowering. To see him is to want to like him. Maybe that's the problem, I decide. He's too confident that he's welcome everywhere. And going by my mom, he isn't. Not here, anyways. He's brought his new family, his wife, Corrine, who doesn't look much older than Johnny, and Helen, my 4-year-old half-sister. Mom was right. Helen's definitely not the girl in the blue dress. It's no big deal, I guess. I'm just disappointed. I was kind of hoping for one thing in my life to be connected to reality. Although I'm meeting them for the first time, I have to remind myself they already know me. For some reason, they don't seem to like me very much. Corrine hangs back, and the little kid stays firmly attached to her mom's skirt. They look at me like I'm a time bomb about to go off in their faces. What did I ever do to them? Does he know anything he's ever... Stop it. Does he know anything he's ever done to them? No, because he doesn't remember anything. So for all he knows, he like hates them or they hate him. We literally don't know. All he can go by is their current body language. And right now he's like, they must not like me. Like, what's the problem? My father seems to be settling in for a long visit, but Mom says having none of this. He has to rest, Frank, she says. Doctor's orders. What? He's chopping wood? He's resting. Alone, she insists, in his room where it's quiet. He sighs. Ants at a picnic. That's what you are. Are ants fun at a picnic? No, so he's like telling his ex-wife, like, you're no fun, basically. Because who wants ants to be at their picnic? Probably no one. He hugs me again, squeezing slightly less this time. Great to have you back, champ. Sorry it couldn't be more of a celebration. But Nurse Killjoy over here, he inclines his head in my mother's direction. I stick up for her a little bit. I stick up for her a little. She's right about the doctor. He said I have to take it easy because of my concussion. Concussion, he snorts. When I played football, I got my conch bonked plenty of times. You rub a little dirt on it and you're good. Corrine appears at her husband's elbows. We're so glad you're okay, Chase. Come on, Frank. Let's go. I feel like I have to fill the hostile silence that follows, so I lean down to my kid sister. That's a nice doll you got there. What's her name? She shrinks back like I'm about to eat her. Eventually, Dad's gone, taking Corrine and Helen with him. Johnny goes out to meet some friends, and Mom orders me upstairs to get a head start on relaxation that almost caused a civil war. She has to show me which room is mine because I don't remember any of it. Wouldn't that be so weird to walk into your house and you don't even know where you sleep? It'd be like a brand new house. Not the wooden staircase that has faded floral runners up the center, not the narrow hallway with the low ceiling, not the wooden door with the crack down the center panel. Mom Mom sees me evaluating the damage and is momentarily surprised by my surprise. Then she tries to explain it away. That's probably my fault. I always let you and your friends play sports in the house. You're too big for that now, or the house is too small. Which sports? I asked. Tears are coming to her eyes. This is all hard for her. Football, soccer, badminton, you name it. Being in my room is the weirdest experience of all. It's my room. There's no question about it. The walls are covered with newspaper clippings about football teams I starred on and lacrosse games I won. That's me in the pictures, diving into the end zones, being mobbed by ecstatic teammates. More unfamiliar faces. There are trophies too, shelves of them. Chase Ambrose, top scorer. Chase Ambrose, MVP, most yards from scrimmaging, team captain, state championships. I'm really somebody. So based off of all these pictures, newspaper clippings, like he has rows of trophies, he's seeing like I really have a life. I must have friends. I'm really good at things. And does he remember being good at any of this? No. So he's seeing all this stuff and is probably a little bit overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, who am I? You know? I only wish I knew who. It takes some doing to build up my courage, but I eventually make it over to the window. I was wrong before. It's plenty high. I'm lucky to be alive. It's like I've been parachuted into the middle of someone else's life. Someone who looks exactly like me, yet isn't me. The doctor is right. I need to rest. I sit down on the edge of the bed. My bed. There's a phone on the nightstand. The screen cracked. I wonder if it had to do with me when I fell. I press the home button. It's dead. The charging cable's right beside it, and I plug it in. After a couple of minutes, the display lights up, and there I am with two other kids. Complete strangers. Although you can tell from the pose that the three of us are close friends. It's a selfie with the kid on the right of me as the photographer. I'm in the middle and the smallest of the three of us, which is surprising since I'm a pretty big guy. It must be Halloween because there are little kids in costume in the background. I'm wielding a baseball bat, holding it high. Hanging off the tip of it is a mangled, ruined jack-o'-lantern. The screen goes dark. I press the button again. The image of the triumphant pumpkin basher reappears. I can't take my eyes off of it. All three of us wear wild, gleeful, unholy, cake-eating grins. What kind of person am I? So, right now, this is what we know. He knows nothing, right? How is his mom feeling about all this? Someone describe to me his mom right now. Nervous wreck. She doesn't even know how to act around her child because he was injured and now he knows nothing. So she is truly a nervous wreck. Everything is making her upset. Older brother. What's his role so far? Kelsey? Well, he's in college, but he's home for the summer, right? So he's just an extra part of the life. Right now, he's being a supportive older brother, right? He was there when he woke up. He's being there for him. But, he's an older brother, has his own life. So he's just there. Dad. How is Dad so far in the story? Kaden, how's Dad so far in the story? Kind of mean to the mom. He doesn't seem very nice so far, right? Doesn't seem very nice. He seems kind of a little jerky, but he really, really likes who? Who does the dad really like? Chase. Yeah, he's calling him champ. Threw him this little party when he got home. He really likes Chase. And he has this new wife who's apparently pretty young if she's Johnny's age. And how does his little sister react to him? Brayden, how is his little sister reacting to him? Scared. She literally won't even talk to him, even when he just asks her doll's name. She's literally hiding from him. So, little sister doesn't like him. Maybe we'll find out why later. And his stepmother doesn't seem to really care for him much either. She didn't really say anything besides, welcome home. So, all these people are kind of giving different reactions of Chase so far. But Chase is apparently really good at stuff because he has trophies and newspaper articles and all those different things. We are now going to, yeah.
We also know something about him. Page 11 says team captain, so he's the football team.
Right, so he must be a team captain. He also knows he must have two close friends according to the picture, right? Like, he's in a picture with friends. He's like, we're clearly friends the way we're all standing. So he knows, well, he must have two friends somewhere. He doesn't know who they are or anything, but hey, they must be somewhere, right? All right, we're going to start chapter 2. We probably should be able to finish it. I think it's not too long. And this chapter 2, Shoshana Weber. So this is a whole nother person we're about to introduce. Sash 466. Hey, little bro, wanna smile? JW Piano Man, question mark, question mark, question mark. Sash 466. Alpha Rat took a header off his roof and almost killed himself. Who's Alpha Rat, based off of what we've already read in this story? Who is Alpha Rat, Alex? Chase, right. He's the only one that's fallen off the roof, right? The odds of that happening to more than one person would probably be pretty slim. So, if someone's calling you Alpha Rat, do you think that you're very liked by them? No. So we're going to assume this Shoshana person maybe doesn't like Chase so much. And she also said, do you want to smile? Like kind of laughing at it. JW Piano Man. By almost, you mean ... Shosh 466. Sorry. Still alive, but supposedly messed up. Just out of the hospital yesterday. JW Piano Man. Any chance Beta and Gamma Rats fell with him? Shosh 466. Nope, solo performance. Don't get greedy. Smiling yet? JW Piano Man. Now who's being greedy? All right, so far, we officially have met two people that must not like Chase, right? We don't know who JW Piano Man is yet, but Shosh 464, we could assume it's Shoshana Weber, right? Because that's the first chunk of her name. And they're probably messaging back and forth through like IM or something like that. Not through a text, probably through a computer. I exit messages and call Joel because I'm worried about him. I always worry about him. He's my younger brother, 14 minutes younger anyways. If you have a brother that's only 14 minutes younger than you, what does that make you? Kelsey, you should know. Twins, okay? So she has a twin brother, Joel. And Joel starts with the J. So we're going to assume that JW Piano Man would be who? Joel Weber, JW. See how that works? Yeah?
And it also says, hey, little bro.
Yeah, and also says, hey, little bro. Sorry, forgot about that too. He's my younger brother, 14 minutes younger anyways. But if he thought Chase Ambrose falling off his stupid roof onto his stupid head didn't bring a smile to Jill's lips, then something is seriously wrong. Besides the usual, I mean. Hey, he answers. Even in a single syllable, I can pick up the discouraged tone in his voice. He's angry and homesick. Who can blame him? It's not like going away to boarding school was his first choice. Or even his 20th. Okay, so we know Joel's at boarding school. And if she's calling Joel, does that mean she's at boarding school too? No, she must be probably at home or somewhere else because she's calling him. Is Melton getting any better, I ask, almost afraid to hear the answer. It's Melton Prep, the musical conservatory in New Britain, Connecticut. New Britain, whatever, New B, Connecticut. What can I tell you? It's exile. I don't argue with him. How can I? Joel's a talented musician who belongs in a place like Melton, but that doesn't change the fact that he'd still be at home starting 8th grade at Hiwassee if it weren't for what happened. How are the other kids? Okay, he replies without much enthusiasm. All losers, just like me. I'm probably not going to be picked on if that's what you mean. There's no pickers here, only pickies. That bugs me. You're not losers. You're there because you're winners. You have talent. So this isn't just like a regular boarding school. It's a boarding school because it's a musical conservatory. So it's a boarding school for musicians. Like you have to be really good at music, some type of instrument, singing, something like that to be here. So it's not just like he was bad, so he was sent away. He was sent there because he's so good and because something happened. Do we know what happened? No. There's a reason why I can't live in my own town, and it has nothing to do with playing the piano. It's Alpha Rat, and you know it. If he fell off a skyscraper instead of his own roof, I'd be on my way home right now. Who's Alpha Rat again, Melody? Chase. So he's saying if Chase would have fallen off a skyscraper, which means he would have died, right? Because you can't live off of falling off a skyscraper. He's saying if Chase would have died instead of just gotten hurt, he'd be able to come home. So Joel is apparently at this boarding school because of what? Yeah, which is Chase. So Chase had to have done something, or something happened between Joel and Chase, and that's why he's there. I have to let that pass because it's the bitter truth. Chase Ambrose and his two disgusting friends hounded my poor brother out of town. The thought of it amazes me, even though I saw it happen. I still can't figure it out. Chase isn't Darth Vader or Voldemort. He doesn't have the Force or dark magic powers. Yet he, Aaron Hickman, and Bear Bratsky made Joel's life so miserable that my parents had no choice but to find him a school in another town. We tried to fight it. My dad spent so much time in the principal's office that it would make sense for him to leave a change of clothes there. But nothing could be done about the bullying. Most of the time, there was no way to prove who was doing it. A random foot tripping Joel up in a crowded hall. A shoulder rammed into his chest that sent him sprawling. Sorry, man, didn't see you. Dog poop pushed inside through the vents of his locker. His clothes mysteriously disappearing from the changing room to be replaced by a rabbit suit. When a science project wound up smashed or a painting ruined in the art room, it was always Joel's. On the night of the talent show when the fire alarm was pulled, it was during Joel's piano performance. So remember, bullying isn't someone just being mean to you once. Bullying is a repetitive motion or action. So literally, they just listed like 6 things that have happened to Joel. Constantly being tripped, things being ruined. So that is true bullying. And who's bullying him according to Shoshana? Let's name the 3 people who are bullying, or who did, because now Joel's away, but who were bullying Joel based off of what Shoshana says. Isaiah, who's one of the bullies? Chase, who's another bully? Caden. Aaron, who's either alpha who's either beta or gamma rat. And who's our 3rd bully? Kendall? At the bottom of 14. Do you need something, Eliana, or no? No? Okay.
The very bottom.
Yeah, the very bottom of 14. What? Yeah, Bear. That's his name. I didn't pick it, so I'm sorry if you don't like it. So they are real life bullying him. It started with just Chase, Aaron, and Bear. Eventually, though, it spread. The other kids, well, they couldn't help but notice that every time someone was making a fuss or protesting, stuffed into a locker or mummified with toilet paper, it was my brother. Before you knew it, Joel was the school victim and the school joke. His life was practically unbearable. Does that sound fun that the whole school picks on you? I hope that doesn't sound fun. That would be a lot of people, right? 3 bullies would be a lot. But could you imagine like the whole school kind of being mean to you, not really being friendly, picking on you? That would be a hard life to live if every day you came to school and every day multiple people were being mean to you. That would be hard. So by saying his life is unbearable, it kind of sounds like that. Like it sounds literally terrible. Who do you blame? The principal? Dr. Fitzwallace did what he could, but most of the time there wasn't any evidence. Sure, he could make the occasional try. There was this time Chase chucked a lacrosse stick in Joel's bike and the butt end got jammed in his spokes. Joel went flying over the handlebars and wound up with a sprained wrist, a black eye, and a nasty scrape along the jaw stretching from ear to chin. There was plenty of witnesses to that one. Dr. Fitzwallace was all set to throw the book at Chase. A long suspension, the works. The school board overruled him. They agreed it was wrong to throw the stick, but insisted that Chase couldn't predict it would result in serious injury. Ha! The real reason was that Chase was the town's sports hero and the son of the last town's sports hero. Chase's dad had a lot of admirers on the board, and my family didn't. So even when the principal tried to get him in trouble, because he was actually caught doing something, the school board was like, oh, no, he didn't know that was going to happen. He couldn't have predicted it. Okay, but if we never would have done it, it wouldn't have ever caused a problem, right? Just because you don't know how bad it's going to be, does that mean we should do it? No. That'd be like punching someone in the nose and then their nose breaking. You have no way of knowing their nose is actually going to break, but does that mean you should punch them in the nose? No, of course not. Just because you weren't planning on it breaking doesn't mean you should do it. The only time anyone was able to pin something on those three idiots, it had less to do with my poor brother than the fact that it cost the district money. The big open house in May, Joel was invited to play piano. He's by far the best musician around here, even if none of the other kids appreciate it. Anyways, Chase, Aaron, and Bear planted 6 cherry bombs inside the school's baby grand. Time for the middle of the performance. I can still hear Joel scream when the big firecrackers went off, splintering the wood of the piano. I think that's part of what makes him such an irresistible target for Chase and the world. They know they can always get a reaction out of him. Okay, I'm just going to let you know. Setting off cherry bombs or firecrackers or any other type of fireworks inside a building full of people, is that a safe idea? No, that could cause major panic and then people could get hurt, right? So he was literally playing the piano and then the piano exploded. Like, I would also scream. After that, Joel couldn't even walk down the halls without a bunch of football players making fun of how scared he was. We were all scared, but it's only Joel, they remember. The irony is the case against Chase and company had nothing to do with the attack on my brother. No, it was the damage to the piano that got the administration upset enough to bring in the police. The juvenile court judge sentenced Chase, Aaron, and Bear to community service at our town's senior citizens' home. As if the elderly deserved that. You'd think Chase would leave Joel alone after that. It would have made sense, but sense has never been Alpha Rat's quality. So my parents found a new place for Joel. Because as long as that bully was around, my brother would never be safe. Joel's probably right. That if Chase fell off a skyscraper instead of just a roof, he'd be able to leave Milton and come home. Sometimes I feel like I should be up on a tall building pushing Chase over the side. But that would make me no better than him. And I am better. Everybody is. Oh, snap. So, does Shoshana like Chase very much? No. Chase has essentially torn apart her family, right? Like, she has a twin brother, and now her twin brother can't even live with her. So a part of her family is missing because he was bullied so bad, specifically by Chase and Chase's 2 friends. The night before the first day of school, my dad always used to take Joel and me to Haven on Ice, which is one of those self-serve frozen yogurt places. Even though Joel and I are twins, our dessert strategies are totally opposite. I get vanilla yogurt with just a handful of chocolate sprinkles. Joel prefers a thimbleful of like the container full of yogurt and 99% a thimble full of yogurt. So that would be like a thimble goes on your thumb during sewing, which is really small. So a thimble full of yogurt and 99% toppings. It's a competition to see who can load up the most weight. I don't want to go this year. Come on, Slash, Dad's Wheels. It's a tradition. All your friends will be there. Not my best friend. Who's her best friend, probably? Joel, who can't be there because he's in another town. He gives me a sad smile. So you and Joel are best friends now? When he's home, you two are fighting like cats and dogs. He should be home now. I know Dad's trying to help, but I'm determined to be miserable. We've been over this a million times. This is the best thing for Joel. Whatever the reason he's here, he'll learn to love Melton for the music program. In the end, I let him talk me into going. Mom and Dad are worried enough about my brother. I don't need them stressing over me, too. It's weird to be at Haven on Ice without Joel. I see Hugo and Marissa, whatever, call her that. And the first question they ask is, how's Joel doing? The way they say it, it's like he's been shipped off to the moon, not Connecticut. I don't want to deal with the whole sob story again, so I changed the subject and asked them about camp. They both went to sleepaway this summer. Right when Hugo was telling me about the life or death struggle with a pop-up tent, I'm assuming it's a pop-up tent, I spot him, the jerk. Who did she spot, probably? Chase. The worst person in the world. Chase has a few small cuts and bruises on his face, although nothing like what I was hoping for. His left arm is in a sling, but that's about it. He's standing in front of a row of yogurt dispensers with a timid look on his face like he honestly can't decide what flavor he wants. Isn't that classic? The kid who feasted on Joel, chewed him up and spit him out, can't make up his mind between strawberry banana or rum raisin. Too bad they don't have poison. He must have felt me glaring at him because he glances up and catches my eye. He looks right through me at first, which is insulting enough. And then he does something so horrible that I can barely believe it, even from the likes of him. He casts me a shy smile. So, you know, when you see someone and you kind of make eye contact, but you don't know them, so you kind of maybe smile at them a little bit. That's kind of what he's doing right now. Because why? Because Chase doesn't remember her. She remembers him, but Chase has no idea who this girl is. So he just kind of smiles at him because they smiles at her because they made eye contact, and that's kind of the polite thing to do. All the anger that's been building inside me since Joel left for Melton rises to the surface like magma. Before I have the chance to think about it and stop myself, I stalk over to Chase. I get right in his face and tell him, "You got some nerve grinning at me after what you did. You stay out of my way or you'll be sorry." I take my beautiful vanilla yogurt with chocolate sprinkles and dump it over his head and sweep out of the store. My father's in conversation with one of the other dads and almost misses me storming past. "Done so soon?" he asks. Then he looks back inside and sees my family's arch enemy dripping frozen yogurt and sprinkles down his face, dabbing himself with the soaked napkin in one of his free hands. "Car's around the corner," Dad mumbles. Hurrying me away from Haven on Ice. He's embarrassed, sure, but also a little bit proud. How do I feel? I thought there was nothing Chase could do to make me madder at him than I already am. Now I stand corrected. Every time I think about it, my blood boils a little bit hotter. After all that bad history that went down between him and Joel, I swear he looked at me like he'd never seen me before in his life. Like he hadn't played a starring role in destroying my family. So that's what Shoshana does. Shoshana doesn't know that, he can't remember anything yet. So to Chase, he literally has never seen her before in his entire life. But obviously Shoshana's seen him. All right, we're going to stop there. So long. Time to go.